Rahul Gandhi is speaking on the Enforcement Directorate's case and the searches that have been carried out. Let's listen in.
सर आज प्रदर्शन होगा राहुल? नहीं, देखिए आप नेशनल हेरल्ड की बात कर रहे हैं
जी सर।
देखिए ये पूरा इंटिमिडेशन का अटेम्प्ट है। ये सोचते हैं कि थोड़ा सा मतलब प्रेशर डाल के हमें चुप कर देंगे, नहीं होने वाले जी। जो इस देश में नरेंद्र मोदी जी, अमित शाह जी कर रहे हैं लोकतंत्र के खिलाफ, उसके खिलाफ हम खड़े रहेंगे, चाहे ये कुछ भी कर।
सर बीजेपी कह रही है कि रण छोड़ने भी नहीं देंगे और भागने भी नहीं देंगे।
मतलब
बीजेपी संबित पात्रा कह रहे हैं
कि भागने नहीं देंगे और रण की बात कर रही है, लड़ाई की बात कर रही है कांग्रेस पार्टी।
भागने की कौन बात कर रहा है? भागने की वो बात कर रहे हैं। देखिए सुनिए बात
जी,
हम इंटिमिडेट नहीं होंगे, हम नरेंद्र मोदी से नहीं डरते हैं। समझ गए बात? कर लें जो करना है, कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा। राहुल जी बोलने दीजिए जी। जो मेरा काम है देश की रक्षा करना, लोकतंत्र की रक्षा करना, देश में जो हार्मनी है उसको मेंटेन करना, वो मैं करता रहूंगा जी। ये कुछ भी करने
राहुल, ईडी कह रही है कि शेल कंपनीज का यूज हुआ।
मैं नरेंद्र मोदी से नहीं डरता is what Rahul Gandhi is saying there. Pallavi Ghosh with me. Pallavi, very belligerent Rahul Gandhi. If the Enforcement Directorate's action, as was being alleged, was meant to intimidate, looks like he's fighting that intimidation tactics as is being alleged.
But that's also been the Congress's stand, that we are certainly not going to get intimidated, and other political parties in the opposition spectrum may be silent, but we certainly are not going to be silent. See, tomorrow is the big bang protest, which are kind of decided by the Congress party, but that's on price rise. But I suspect it's also going to be teamed up with this entire ED issue by the Congress party to make the point that the real issues of the people are not being focused on by the.
Right, but Pallavi, if you do hold on, we want to play out that bite from Rahul Gandhi once again.
फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा। राहुल जी बोलने दीजिए जी। जो मेरा काम है देश की रक्षा करना, लोकतंत्र की रक्षा करना, देश में जो हार्मनी है उसको मेंटेन करना, वो मैं करता रहूंगा जी। ये कुछ भी करने
राहुल, ईडी कह रही है कि शेल कंपनीज का यूज हुआ।
ये पूरा इंटिमिडेशन का अटेम्प्ट है। ये सोचते हैं कि थोड़ा सा मतलब प्रेशर डाल के हमें चुप कर देंगे, नहीं होने वाले जी। जो इस देश में नरेंद्र मोदी जी, अमित शाह जी कर रहे हैं लोकतंत्र के खिलाफ, उसके खिलाफ हम खड़े रहेंगे, चाहे ये कुछ भी कर।
सर बीजेपी कह रही है कि रण छोड़ने भी नहीं देंगे और भागने भी नहीं देंगे।
मतलब
बीजेपी संबित पात्रा कह रहे हैं
कि भागने नहीं देंगे और रण की बात कर रही है, लड़ाई की बात कर रही है कांग्रेस पार्टी।
भागने की कौन बात कर रहा है? भागने की वो बात कर रहे हैं। देखिए सुनिए बात
जी,
हम इंटिमिडेट नहीं होंगे, हम नरेंद्र मोदी से नहीं डरते हैं। समझ गए बात? कर लें जो करना है, कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा। राहुल जी बोलने दीजिए जी। जो मेरा काम है देश की रक्षा करना, लोकतंत्र की रक्षा करना, देश में जो हार्मनी है उसको मेंटेन करना, वो मैं करता रहूंगा जी। ये कुछ भी करने
राहुल, ईडी कह रही है कि शेल कंपनी।
Pallavi Ghosh is still there with us. Pallavi, we were discussing how Rahul Gandhi's reaction seems belligerent, and more Congress leaders, you are saying, are taking that same tone.
Yes, and I think they're going to take a cue from the tone of Rahul Gandhi a short while back. As I was talking about this, Arunima, tomorrow is a big bang protest on price rise and GST. And the point which the Congress party is making is that this should be the focus of the government, not targeting the Gandhis or sending the ED. So I'm sure tomorrow also, it's going to be a very kind of a cyclical reaction which will come in. The Congress will say, you're losing your focus, you're diverting attention, you're sending out the ED. The BJP says that it's always about the Gandhis. The protests have got nothing to do with the Aam Aadmi. Congress is also anticipating that there may be some more developments. Either ED officials turn up at the Congress headquarters or go to a residence of the Gandhi, or either today or tomorrow. So both the issues are going to be mixed up, and therefore this tug of war between the two of them will be going on. But I think the fact that Rahul Gandhi was extremely belligerent today, saying that I'm not scared of the RSS, I'm not scared of the BJP, I think that's going to be the tone which is going to be adopted by the Congress party now.
Yes, and they're already talking about why the Congress headquarters is surrounded by policemen. They're raising this issue since yesterday, even though this morning ground report seems to suggest that security is the ordinary, is the usual.
But in fact, I was there yesterday in the evening. There was this anticipation which the Delhi police has that there would be protests by the Congress workers when news came in that a Young India office had been seized. And to be very fair, Arunima, there were tensions which were high inside the Congress headquarters. The party cadres were actually being organized to try and ensure that if there has to be a protest, where they are going to go out for it. That's the reason as a precautionary measure, because there was also peak traffic time, office goers going back to work, and therefore the police had cordoned off that entire area, which lasted for an hour and a half. After the Congress press conference ended by around 7:30 is when the roads were completely opened up. Okay. Needless reaction from the Congress is what the BJP said. Congress said that, we are now being barricaded and there's a ghettoization which is taking place as far as the Congress headquarters is concerned.
On that note, let me actually get in a voice from BJP. Mr. R.P. Singh is back with us. Mr. Singh, I don't know if you heard Rahul Gandhi. He said, "Main Narendra Modi se nahi darta. This intimidation tactics will not work."
उन्होंने शायद ऐसा भी कहा कि यू कैन साइलेंस अस। उन्होंने कहा कि हमें चुप नहीं कर सकते। हाँ, हम तो चाहते हैं वो ही शुड नॉट स्टे साइलेंट, ही शुड स्पीक अप अबाउट हाउ डिड दे एक्वायर एसोसिएट जनरल विद 1 crore rupees and who was the person who funded and where did the 1 crore came from. He should tell the truth instead of passing on the complete thing on the Voraji.
Okay.
He said that Motilal Voraji is responsible for that. He should tell the truth because he was a major shareholder and he and his mother are the major shareholders.
Okay. Mr. Singh, will you give me a moment? You want the Congress to answer those questions. Manikam Tagore, the Member of Parliament, is with us. Mr. Tagore, BJP is saying instead of diverting from the issue, the Gandhis should answer the questions that ED has as far as affairs of Young India is concerned.
Yes, 5 days, Mr. Gandhi for 50 hours answered their question. From morning 10 o'clock to night 12 o'clock, they kept him in the ED office. What they were doing? Only questioning. They were asking what they were not having some kind of agenda. It was only questioning. Sonia Gandhi, who had been ill of COVID also, she went for 3 days for questioning. What else they want?
So why this protest? This is what the BJP has been asking, Mr. Tagore. What is this protest about? Is it about the Gandhis? Because the ED should be allowed to do its job, isn't it?
That's a good question. In the parliament, and I from the
I'm losing your audio there, Mr. Tagore. I'll try and fix that line. But RP saying, if you heard Manikam Tagore, we'll try and patch him back. But what he's saying is that the Enforcement Directorate called Rahul and Sonia Gandhi. 5 days for Rahul and 3 days for Sonia. Whatever had to be asked has been answered. So there is nothing left to be said.
Well, if the answers are not satisfactory, that's why ED is doing what it need to do. They are trying to find out more details, and they are trying to search through offices to get more details. If had the answers been satisfactory, they would not gone through these searches. And that's the reason. And then again, taking the pretext on 75-year-old, he was not well. When whole of this more than 2,000 crore rupees company was taken over by a false route or by a corporate entity route. So they need to answer that. How could they acquire 2,000 crore rupees worth of more than 2,000 crore rupees of worth of assets without having a penny in the pocket?
Right. So the Bharatiya Janata Party will continue to raise questions about the role that the Gandhis have played. But they are also asking, Mr. Singh, Mr. Chidambaram has spoken on this. Why are you making the Congress party office like a chhavni? Why have you surrounded it with the force? Why are you not allowing the cadre and the leaders to go inside? Is this not vendetta is what they're asking?
No, there's no chhavni. Please ask your correspondent to go on ground and check. Everyone can go and anyone, your correspondent are also going. It's only to safeguard the traffic hassle for the office goers or the people who are to come to the main city, the center of the city, the CP and all this Luton Delhi part, just to avoid the problem for them. There's nothing more than that. They are free to go. Any office worker can come and go. There's no issue. Mr. Rahul Gandhi, Priyanka Vadra, everyone has been there. And one more question. Please, since you spoke about Chidambaram. Yesterday, Congress and other certain more leaders have signed some letter questioning the Supreme Court verdict. I would appreciate they should get Chidambaram also to sign that letter because it was Chidambaram who got the PMLA Act he was the first one to get the PMLA Act as a finance minister. We would appreciate, ask him to please sign that letter and then forward that letter.
Right. Mr. Singh,
Thank
you. Thank you so much for sharing what the Bharatiya Janata Party thinks on this matter. But Rahul Gandhi, like we said, is being belligerent. He spoke to the media a short while back, slamming the BJP, slamming the government. Let's listen in.
आप नेशनल हेरल्ड की बात कर रहे हैं
जी सर।
देखिए ये पूरा इंटिमिडेशन का अटेम्प्ट है। ये सोचते हैं कि थोड़ा सा मतलब प्रेशर डाल के हमें चुप कर देंगे, चुप नहीं होने वाले जी। जो इस देश में नरेंद्र मोदी जी, अमित शाह जी कर रहे हैं लोकतंत्र के खिलाफ, उसके खिलाफ हम खड़े रहेंगे, चाहे कुछ भी कर। हम इंटिमिडेट नहीं होंगे, हम नरेंद्र मोदी से नहीं डरते हैं। समझ गए बात? कर लें जो करना है, कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा। जो मेरा काम है देश की रक्षा करना, लोकतंत्र की रक्षा करना, देश में जो हार्मनी है उसको मेंटेन करना, वो मैं करता रहूंगा। ये कुछ भी कर लें।
My colleague Pallavi Ghosh with us right now. Let's go over to her to understand more. Pallavi, could you also walk us through the prime thing that the Congress has said is that the ED, the BJP, they're trying to remove focus from a protest that the Congress has planned tomorrow. Could you walk us through what's planned? All right, we'll try to re-establish connections with my colleague Pallavi Ghosh. Until we're able to do that, we'll bring you the details we do have. This is a national protest that the Congress has planned against inflation, price rise, the state of the economy. You might remember these are issues they wanted to discuss in the parliament for a while now. They did finally begin this discussion earlier this week. Nirmala Sitharaman, the finance minister, was present. Finally, you did see the opposition bring it up, but a few minutes into that conversation, the Congress staged a walkout. Very quickly, we want to take you to what former Finance Minister, senior Congress leader P. Chidambaram has had to say on the controversy that's rolled out since. Take a look.
The House was in order and everybody was peacefully sitting in his or her seat. The leader of the opposition, before he completed the first sentence, the leader of the House, Mr. Piyush Goyal, stands up, interrupts him, shouts at him and tries to drown him out. Which rule sanctions this kind of outrageous parliamentary behavior? Why is the leader of the House, whose only business is to ensure that the House is run, why is he shouting and screaming and making the House adjourn? This shows the extreme intolerance of this government. And today's adjournment is entirely because of the leader of the House, Mr. Piyush Goyal.
All right, since it's noon, since we're going over the show once again, my colleague Pallavi Ghosh, our senior editor, is with us right now. Let's go over to her quickly. Pallavi, if you could give us a summary, since we're starting with you on this story at noon, if you could give us a summary of the action we've seen with the Congress since the morning. What's taken place since the morning?
Rahul Gandhi also had to say, though he was speaking in the context of National Herald and ED, but both the issues are now getting slowly mixed up. The issue of the national flag and also raising questions over the RSS, which according to Rahul Gandhi and the Congress party is the backbone of the BJP. The questioning of the Congress party as being a party which does not believe in nationalism or does not believe in Tiranga is also now mixed up with the intimidation of the Congress party, according to the Congress party, by the government by using the ED as well as the CBI. So, you know, multiple issues are all now getting built up. Tomorrow, as we know, is the Congress protest. It's a pan-India protest on price rise and on the change GST rates. But the Congress party is saying that this is actually should have been the key issue of the government. But what they're trying to do is divert attention, mislead the Aam Aadmi and also make the issue more about the Gandhis by attacking them. The BJP's rejoinder to this, of course, is the fact that the Congress party is only bothered when the Gandhis are targeted. They don't feel for the nation. They don't feel for the national flag. It's always about the Nehru-Gandhi dynasty.
Pallavi, yesterday evening, you'd had Congress leaders make the accusation that it wasn't just the AICC that saw police outside it. According to the Congress, Sonia Gandhi's residence, Rahul Gandhi's residence also had police deployment outside it. Today, what are our ground reporters telling us about police deployment in the area?
See, today, of course, it's much, much calmer. The police is not there. Just the usual kind of police presence is, of course, over there. But yesterday, Delhi police also put out their version saying that they got a tip-off that just because the Young India office had been sealed, many protesters could actually come up to the Congress headquarters, and therefore, as a precautionary measure, they had barricaded the entire area. It's not that they were being cordoned off. It was not that they were not being allowed to go out. There was a press conference, and I think after a press conference, the Congress is also now bracing up for the eventuality that ED may either end up turning up at the Congress headquarters or possibly even go to a residence of the Gandhis to check out on the documents, in which case it's going to be a full-on war between the BJP and the Congress. And frankly speaking, tomorrow's protest can also now become the focus, shift to the Gandhis in case the ED takes this step which the Congress anticipates.
Okay, Pallavi, if I could request you to stay with us, we'd like to come back to you for your expertise. Right now, though, we have BJP leader, spokesperson Shehzad Poonawala. He's with us right now on the phone. Let's go over to him for his opinion on these developments. Sir.
Yes, go ahead with your question.
No, Mr. Poonawala, I just want to know your first reaction to the developments we've seen over the last few hours.
No, it's quite curious that the Congress party is first of all coming out in the defense of the Parivar, which is made to being answer the questions that have arisen from a court of law and its court of law's findings. The trial court has directed action to be taken against the first family of corruption. The High Court and Supreme Court has given no relief to them. They went against the income tax reassessment order in the High Court and Supreme Court. So is Mr. Gandhi or the first family of Congress saying that it is the courts of law that are vindictive? Are they trying to imply that the courts of law are trying to silence them? And they have got no relief from any court of law. So unless they feel that even the courts are vindictive or that they are above the courts of law, this kind of argument makes no sense.
Sir, can I also understand from you, when you have, for example, Congress leader Rahul Gandhi, but also a number of other senior Congress leaders saying that their headquarters are getting gheraud, saying that there is police deployment that's heavy outside their own locations and that this kind of action isn't necessary. So what is the BJP's stance on that?
You know, in the name of the Satyagraha, the Congress party has indulged in Satyagraha. You've seen the last time the ED was questioning their leader. You saw Congress leaders hold the collar of cops. Ms. Renuka Chaudhary did that. You saw Netta D'Souza spit at cops. You saw the Congress leaders beat up a cop in Assam. You saw Congress workers in Maharashtra resort to Argjani. They even gave intimidation and threats that the law and order situation will go for a toss if any questioning was done. This was done by the leader in Maharashtra. So when this kind of threats are thrown, when law is taking its own course, so obviously the Delhi police or any other agency will do whatever is required to maintain law and order, because nobody can intimidate, interfere, obstruct or disrupt the law just because people who are involved in corruption are being questioned after court orders have come and they've got no relief from them.
All right, Mr. Poonawala, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon on CNN News 8.